What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and I'm here in Santa Monica in front of the Looff Hippodrome in Canada, and I'm here in Santa Monica in front of the Looff Hippodrome and Carousel, a 108-year-old National Historic Monument and cherished piece of Americana that stands proudly on the Santa Monica Pier. The Looff Hippodrome is an architectural marvel and a charming representation of Los Angeles history. Let's get into it. Built in 1916 by legendary carousel maker Charles I.D. Looff, the Looff Hippodrome is actually the longest standing structure on the pier outside of the pier itself. The Hippodrome was built as the centerpiece to Looff's Pleasure Pier, an amusement park that featured activities, games, and rides meant to draw people to the still burgeoning area of Santa Monica. The building itself combines multiple architectural styles, making it a visual masterpiece. While time and elements have stripped down this still grand structure, the Hippodrome originally featured 12 smaller striped towers as well as an onion dome. Now, if you're wondering why there's a stairway on multiple floors of the Looff Hippodrome, it's because for the first half century or so of its existence, it also contained offices, residences, and apartments on the second floor. This was also a regular haunt for Joan Baez, Tom Hayden, and Jane Fonda, as well as Marilyn Monroe. That said, an arson fire in 1874 ended the era of residency in the building, but not before Paul Newman's classic film, The Sting, featured the Hippodrome and Carousel in its then faded glory. As for the Carousel, it's actually the Hippodrome's third. This one was built by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company in 1922 and began life at the Venice Pier. The Philadelphia Toboggan Company was the premier carousel company of the era, and they'd handcraft these carousels that were unrivaled in beauty and detail, as evidenced by the handicraft on these horses. The original carousel was built in 1916 by Charles and his son Arthur, and it was amongst the last ever built by Looff. It's important to note that Charles Looff built Coney Island's first amusement ride in 1876, as well as dozens of other carousels, roller coasters, Ferris wheels, and full-scale amusement parks throughout the country before turning his vision to the Pleasure Pier right here in Santa Monica. After its post-war glory era, the pier saw a tough period. It included sagging attendance and threats to the very existence of the pier and the Hippodrome, including a plan to replace the pier with a resort island in Santa Monica Bay. Now, local activists were able to save the pier, though it was also endangered in 1983 by a completely different threat: torrential winter storms. In 1987, the Hippodrome was recognized as a National Historic Landmark and listed on the National Register of Historic Places. And a few years later, the pier was a focus of development and rehabilitation for the city of Santa Monica. The Carousel was refurbished and the Hippodrome was restored. It was made the centerpiece of the newly reinvigorated Santa Monica Pier. And today you can rent out the Looff Hippodrome for parties or private events, or visit it beginning at 11 a.m. every day except Tuesday, when it's closed for maintenance. A truly iconic part of the Santa Monica Pier and a landmark to both Santa Monica and Los Angeles, the Looff Hippodrome really is a unique and charming place to experience a piece of history and Americana. All right, LA, it's been a minute.